Good morning, everybody, and how you doing? Wake up, wake up, wake up. I got something for you that's going to be fantastic. Now, listen, I'm going to wait. Tell your friend, call your friend, send an email, send a message, send out to social media. We are live. Yep, we're live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Stitcher, all of them. If you missed yesterday's show, you missed a great show. We were talking about a great event that's happening coming up this weekend. Yes, the 8th coming up right now, and you don't want to miss. But like the last show, I got to have a great co-host. I can't do my job without a great co-host, so let's go.
Hey, I love that. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
How
go.
you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Listen, people don't know what we go through just to get these shows on the go. People coming into the green room, waiting for our guests to log in. But we are on fire. I'm excited because I know the show is going to be hot. It's going to be great. But before we go on, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Kojenwa. Some people call me KJ. I am the people's publicist. So I'm here to deliver on getting your message, your voice heard, your message seen. It's all about good public image, right? Who are you? And how do people receive you?
Long story short, why did you join IWB?
You know what? I can identify with the immigrant story. There, immigration is a fact of life. There are people who get angry about it. I'm like, it's just a fact of life. Whether you're moving for a new job or maybe you're moving across state or across province, there's constant movement. Change is constant. And my parents came to Toronto when they were 19 and told me their story. And so many of us are second generation. So we can identify. We know what this is like.
There you go. So listen, we got viewers already watching online. Do me a favor. Type into the chat, where are you calling in from? Mississauga, Brampton, Toronto, New York, Jamaica, Bahamas, wherever you're calling in from. Just put it in the text, put it into the message. All right, we got our first guest in the green room. Let's go. We want to welcome to the show, Kim. Let's go. Hey, Kim, how you doing?
I'm wonderful, thank you. And you?
I'm fantastic. I'm so glad you can join us. So I'm going to leave you two, and I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Oh, Kim, it's so nice to see you, first of all, this morning. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Just fighting something, trying to figure out what it is, if it's COVID or just one of those things. So,
yeah, hopefully not COVID. I know flu season has officially begun.
Yeah,
it has. Right? It has. So let's talk a little bit, because you're a board member with IWB, which for those of you who don't know, stands for International Women in Business, right? Why did you join?
I have a lot to offer. So I've met Svetlana years ago, a great woman, wonderful soul. She's like my best friend. And being in corporate for such a long time and understand the struggles that women go through and being able to help them navigate that journey that I went through. I know in my heart and soul, IWB, Immigrant Women in Business, is a place for me to go in and join hands with her and to be on her board and help promote that safe space of belonging for us.
Mm-hmm. Now, have you ever had a personal interaction with any gender-based violence yourself? Like, have you gone through that?
I have. And that's one of my reasons why I do mentoring and coaching on the side. And I sit on other boards also on top of my role as an executive within the federal government space. It's we don't want to talk about it. And, I'm actually just preparing my speech for tomorrow to talk about it globally on gender-based violence at our company. There's a stigma is so real. You want to talk about it, and you look back and you ask yourself why. But that time wasn't right. I was a subject of gender-based violence in the professional place. There is that stigma, and there is that misconception of it's only happened in relationships, and it only happened to men and women. It doesn't happen anywhere else, just in that space, but it doesn't. It happens in the corporate world. It also happened in any form of workplace. So we got to get away from that misconception, right? These things happen, but we are so systematically in tune with ourselves that we don't want to talk about it. We wait years after, and that is my story. I've waited years after to actually speak up. And now that I'm doing it, I'm empowering women to have that voice. Use it, and use it now.
Yeah. And Kim, can you help our listeners, our viewers understand what does that look like? Because sometimes people can't even articulate it. They can't put it into words. They just know how they're feeling. So can you help people identify like what does that look like?
It's all start with accepting yourself, your roots and your values. So don't stray away from that. And anything that you need permission or to give permission to be accepted is a sign that something is falling off the wagon or something is not real here. You got to stick to your core values, and anything that you don't feel comfortable in or comfortable with, a conversation, a remarks, the way you're looked at. Like I was code switched so many damn time I didn't even recognize me, right?
Code
In
switch.
yes, so
Yeah.
you try to look and sound like the others just to fit in. But the
Mhm.
moment you start going down that rabbit hole, there's no turning back.
Okay. For
It
me, what that looked like was um like a direct stare in the chest area, which caused me a lot of consternation, because I knew there was so much more
yeah.
to me, right?
Mhm.
So things like that, or little remarks about what you're wearing, things like that are kind of difficult to handle. I want to talk a little bit more about the event and why people should attend.
Okay. Um, Gender-based violence is an everyday occurrence.
Okay.
IWB, we chose the 8 to celebrate women
Yeah.
and their triumph over that darkness. I think, I shouldn't say I think, I know every woman out there, some way, shape, or form in your life, you've experienced it, right? As long as you're an immigrant and you're a woman of color, you have experienced gender-based violence. Might not be physical, might not be mental, but it's psychological. And it's an opportunity for you to get into a space. And I don't know if you've attended any one of our IWB event. It's a safe space. It's somewhere where you can go and feel welcome and feel the warmth. You would see Svetlana running around like a chicken with her head cut off because
Oh, I've
she's
seen
the
her.
yeah, she is the mother. She wants all her
Jeez.
babies to feel welcome. And we do that as a board member. We want people to go. So you should attend. It's a Friday event. You should be there. If you want to
Yeah,
make change, you need to be part of the change.
part of the change. And so remind our viewers that's going to be taking place at Metro Hall, correct?
Metro Hall,
Okay.
Friday, December
The
8th.
8th,
I think it's at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
I'm just trying to figure out the timing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's always a fet. I love seeing Svetlana. The first time I met her, she was in her dashiki. Who is this Russian lady running around in her dashiki, honey? Because
Yeah.
she's all about inclusivity. And speaking of which, right, I don't ever want the men to feel left out. Like I always say, like we always say at Zebra, men can be feminists too, right? It's okay to be a man and advocate for women and ensure that we are protected, right? Is it not a stat that we're the most disrespected for whatever reason? It's like, how do you disrespect someone by sheer virtue of how they were born, how they look on the outside? It's really silly. So, talk a bit more, Kim, about what led you to become an advocate for women's empowerment.
I think when you code switch so much in your life,
Okay,
if you
and
don't
explain
recognize
to the viewers what code switching means
the
precisely.
code switching is refuse to take on your personality in wholesome form. You started to look at the others that you want to fit in and be part of that rat race that you start looking, talking, speaking, walking like them. That was me. That was me in my early days in the corporate world. I wanted so desperately to fit in. So I would change who I look like and talk like that. My accent, I tried desperately to hide it. Now I embraced me. I embrace myself as a woman of color. And I've realized I wake up in the morning and I set myself up in a positive mind frame that today is my day. No one is better than me. I'm going to get into that meeting because I earned to be there. That chair is mine. No one is taking that away from me. And for you to disrupt my peace, you need my permission. And I
Oh,
stick and I stick with that. You need my permission to
yeah.
disrupt anything that's positive in my life.
Yeah.
So because of that mindset, and as a single mom, I train my kids the same way. I start advocating for women behind the closed door, because trust me, as a board of directors, many board, and as an executive in many organizations that I've been in, when that door is closed, the narrative change.
Yeah, you
And when
wish
you
you
have
could try.
yeah, and when you have someone like me who don't
I
have
don't
zero
play.
filter,
Mhm.
I say it as it is, and I leave that room with my voice being heard.
That's
Right?
fantastic. Well, Kim, thank you so much for joining us. Don't go nowhere. We're going to keep you back in the green room, but it is actually on Friday at 5:30. So we want everybody to get there early, get there on time. We've been telling everybody the whole week, get there at 4:00, get there early, get there on time. And it's there you go, 55 John Street. Make sure you get there on time and get your parking spots early, because we don't want you to miss out. All right. So, Kim, thank you so much. Yeah, it's fantastic. We're talking about how to bring it up. And I love that you brought up the fellas, because I'm always asked, they're like, Charles, it's IWB. I'm like, yes, I know, but trust me, you can show up. The love is there for everywhere. Everybody needs to show up, because it's not just a woman thing. It's a man thing. It's a family thing. It's a business thing. It's a corporate thing. It's everybody needs to get involved. So we definitely have to do that. All right, let's get to our next guest. Magda, let's go. Hey,
Hi.
Magda, how you doing?
Fabulous. I'm honored to be here.
It's great to see you again. We were the first time we met again. Actual see each other was on a panel just a couple of months ago, and it has been fantastic. So please introduce yourself and tell us more about you.
Yeah, my name is Magda Juliana, and I am a founding member of IWB as well. I started just this year. And formally, my education, everything is psychotherapist, and I've evolved that into now a life coaching business for specifically women looking to recalibrate and get out of all that stress and all the overwhelm that we as women have to face, and empower themselves. So I love what Kim was saying, right? It's like, you don't bother me. You don't go into my space unless I permit it. So that's really powerful. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to leave you two. I'll be right back. I'm going to answer some questions on the sign. I'm actually going to put up, so everybody knows, the link where you can go to Eventbrite, get the link and everything right there. So I'll be back.
Hey, Magda, how are you?
Fabulous.
So good to see you again. I love seeing your face. You're always such a bright spot.
Oh, thank you.
So we're covering today 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And I'm just asking everyone literally point blank, because I'm transparent. I always tell people I'm an open book. Have you ever experienced gender-based violence in your workplace?
My workplace and my personal life, and in many, many instances. And I love the fact that you're so transparent with your story. I am myself as well. I find that is really the way that we can enable women to have a voice, to see that there is another way of living. So I was sexually raped, and obviously I was raped and sexually assaulted, and actually strangled by someone of authority. And but before that, as a woman growing up here in Canada, actually, second generation Latin American, there was a lot of abuse that happened by men as a child, and also in the corporate arena. It's unfortunately not so rare of a thing. And so I really identified with what you said as well, like being a woman and being young in corporate America or corporate Canada. You have still a lot of stigmas. Are you smart enough? Oh, you're just a pretty face. Or you're just, do you really know what you're doing?
Are you single?
Oh, bro, yes. Oh, and I'll never forget, I was doing a construction project, and we were talking about these tarps up in the ceiling or something. And this older gentleman who was the project manager, he was the owner of the company. Imagine, this was a multi-million-dollar project.
Okay.
And we're walking through, and I said, "Oh, aren't those tarps too tight?" He goes, "Not tighter than that sweater you're wearing." I'm like, oh, all right. And I looked over at my CEO, and I was like, and she's a woman. And I want to make mention of this. She's a woman and she just laughed. So gender-based violence doesn't just happen from the opposite gender.
That's true. That is correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and I really think it just comes
Sometimes
from,
we're abused by other women who perpetuate it,
yes,
aka Ghislaine Maxwell, these
yeah.
types of,
Yes, absolutely. So I loved how you were asking Kim basically what does this look like? Gender-based violence happens. It doesn't have to look like a black eye. It doesn't have to look, in any like a man attacking a woman. It could be a woman attacking a woman. It's basically something that we as women have to face from society.
yeah,
things that have been learned and that, yeah.
And also young boys, like it's important to understand that anyone can be abused and to recognize the signs of it and when you're starting to get trapped in that cycle. If you're feeling depressed, even suicidal, like stressed out, your anxiety is high, that thing in your gut comes up, because that thing in that gut came up every time those elevator doors open. I'm like, it's 9:04. I'm going to pretend to saunter in, sort of grab a coffee, get to my desk. This was like way back in the day, you guys, in those towers, right? And that's when I knew I had to become an entrepreneur. And that said, confidence is crucial for empowerment. So what advice do you have for women that are struggling with that self-doubt, struggling with that, like, I don't know if I'm good enough, or if I have the money even, or the right partnership, or the people around me, or the support? What's your advice to those women?
Well, that's a loaded question because this is something that I guide my clients in doing in coaching. And it sometimes takes, it takes a while depending on how deep rooted and how down the rabbit hole we have to go to basically reset that kind of limited thinking and beliefs that have come from society, right? This is what we call paradigm shifting. And so to paradigm shift on your own, which means just like changing how the world is seen and the perceptions of the world, is really tough to do on your own. And so the first thing I would say is if it's getting to a point where, it's really affecting your well-being, how you wake up in the morning, your emotional stability, the way that you can regulate, you need to speak up. Right. And that's easier said than done because we're afraid of repercussions, being fired, not being promoted. There's so many different things that we could be afraid of. But we do live in a society right now where things are changing a bit. And there are social programs and organizations, places like IWB, right? Community, intentional community is very important. So, that would be the first thing that I would say is that you need to gather the troops around you.
Yeah.
That is one of the main things because you can read and watch podcasts and watch shows like this, right? That can be really inspiring and allow you to think, oh, there's a different way of being. But it's really the resources and the community that you intentionally build around you that builds that resilience so that you can take that first step, because that first step is hard.
It's hard. And it could look like anything, by the way. It could look like, I need to go get a massage. I'm going to go get my nails done. I'm going to go to the gym, like making that decision and ramping up to that actualization. Here are things I can control. Here's what I could do right now. And by the way, whether you're a man, woman, or anyone in between, we all need self-care. We all need love. We all need support, right? And we are sexual beings, by the way, right? So it's important for us to understand that and to learn how to deal and to cope and express, right? So all of those things, I would say, are critical.
Right. So absolutely, gathering your resources around you, understanding what your options are, right? It's really hard to make a blanket statement right now because there's so many different situations that can happen. But that would be the first thing so that you can begin to start making decisions, not from a place of fear and survival mode, right? Because we all have survival mechanisms and they kick in and sometimes they're efficient and sometimes they're not, right? And so that's why we need to be able to find out what are actually my choices that I have. When you begin to get very, very clear as to there might be a little crack in this shell that I'm in, there's nothing more empowering than that. So, so that would be, a very important thing that regardless of who and what situation, you need to get that resource in.
Definitely. I think that's absolutely a great point to put it in. The resources. And you know where you can find the resources?
I know.
On Friday.
I know.
This event right here. Make sure you get there this Friday. Make sure you get there early. It's 5:30 to 9:30. But we're all telling everybody 4 o'clock. I keep repeating it. We want you there in the front row. What are we doing? It's all about that right there. Make sure you get there. And here's the one thing we talked about yesterday. Networking is key. There might be somebody out there that you're like, oh, I need some help with this. Come. You might find the right person at this event. They're going to be there. So don't go nowhere. Tell a friend, buddy up, come on down, and enjoy a fantastic event that you're not going to forget. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Immigrant Women in Business, IWB, is a non-profit organization bringing together women from over 50 different countries around the globe. These women have now made Canada their home and share a common goal of providing value to their new sisters. Our motto of "We are stronger together" resonates with all members, and with a diverse membership of business leaders, entrepreneurs and community builders, our goal is to make Canada better and provide guidance and leadership to those that follow.
Yes. We are back live. So, Magda, thank you so much for joining us. Don't go nowhere. We're going to put you in the green room. I think we have one more guest in the green room, and we're going to bring them on. So, don't go nowhere.
Okay.
Don't go nowhere.
You know, and she made a good point there. It's like, you know, the resources. That's something. Resource. Sometimes, you know, don't know where to go, don't know what to do in business and situation. Who do I call?
Who do I call?
What do I do? Do I go to a phone book? Do I Google it? Do I whatever?
I don't know what to do. This is the way, Charles, and I love what you do, by the way, at the Charles Matthews Show. This is called resource, like on steroids. This is what you do. Here's where you go. You go to IWB. You come check us out. You get in the rotation. When I was living abroad, I was considered an immigrant. So I didn't know what resources to call. I was like, am I going to get thrown out of the country? Maybe I don't belong here. But we take an inclusive approach, I think, at IWB, and that's the part I love. Doesn't matter where you come from, Senegalese, Moroccan, my girl's from Palestine. Olena Tumanska, director from Ukraine, came here after the bombs dropped. Can you imagine? So I love the fact that the country is inclusive. And by the way, if you're in the US, there are pockets, right? Like, come through, come to Toronto.
Come down for this event. Make sure you cross the border.
You cross the border.
Friday. Make sure you get here. All right, let's go with our next guest. Hello.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Aziza.
How you doing?
I'm good.
That's good. Great to have you on here.
Same here.
All right, so I'm going to let you guys go real quick.
Sure.
Aziza, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just busy mom at the moment. I'm doing like some sort of studies, so like a bit okay today.
Okay today. Well, we love moms, right? Can you talk a little bit about how you got involved with Immigrant Women in Business?
Okay. So my journey started when I just landed in Canada in 2017.
From where?
From Afghanistan.
Okay.
I used to be a gender advocate, gender equality advisor in Afghanistan. When I landed in Canada, I was searching for a group or for a woman or for an organization that they do the same thing that I used to do in Afghanistan, because I did have the expertise, the skill, or maybe the zeal to contribute to that to women empowerment and gender equality. And then one lucky day, I found that there is an organization, Immigrant Women in Business, which they have, I think they were celebrating the 8th March 2018. I joined there. I attended the event. I met Svetlana, and I just introduced myself to Svetlana, and we talked a little bit. And then our contribution and involvement started from there, where I recommended or suggested Svetlana, let's see, like, apart from the business sessions that we have, or maybe empowering entrepreneurs or women in business, let's focus on some social activities, social movements such as women empowerment, gender equality, all these things. That's where like we started this women empowerment session or maybe section within the IWB. And luckily so far, like after that 2018 now to like end of 2023, so there have been many seminars, many workshops, many celebration, many acknowledgement by IWD, that I'm very much grateful that I met Svetlana, I joined IWB, and we have come so across so far.
Well, that's fantastic. Let's bring Magda back on. I think Kim is still in the green room. She turns on her camera. So real quick, before we guys let you guys go, please, it's open mic. Anybody can jump in. Why should somebody show up? Why should somebody come?
I think if you want to.
Oh, go ahead.
I see. That's what I love. Go. Why should somebody show up? Go.
If you want to be part of the change, if you want to see change, you need to be part of the change, right? We have to make sure we empower women. So we look back at this, there isn't a March 8th. I so hate when people say, let's celebrate women March 8th. No, we celebrate women every single day. So let's strive to get to that point where there is no more March 8th.
I like that. I like that a lot. Why does it have to be on one day? Why do we have to do it? Well, that's your day. Okay, celebrate it one day, and then every other day we can go back crazy. No,
I personally celebrate myself every day. So
love it. Okay, now here's the question. We joked about it earlier. Why should the fellas come out? Why should dads, fathers, brothers, uncles, nephews? Why should they come out?
I bring my little there. She's 7. She just plays on her Minecraft, but she's surrounded by love, by community, family. I can leave and come back and know that she's safe, but also the money, guy, girl, whatever you want to do. I've personally done deals with people in that room over $3,000. Can you believe that?
I also think when we talk about guys also, right, allyship is key. But I hate to be in a room, and I use hate very loosely, when allyship has its own agenda.
Yeah.
If you want to be an ally, because I set up a lot of allyship with an organization, you need to be the voice of the underrepresented behind the closed door.
That's right.
Unless you're willing to do that, I don't want you to be an ally.
Nope.
I'd like to make mention as well that that for any woman, man, doesn't matter what you are, if you're just wanting to understand more, because we can't make change and we can't act if we don't understand what it is that we're facing, right? And so being able to recognize it, be aware of it, see it for what it truly is, and then we're able to find choices and options and ways that we're able to impact change. First, it has to come with, for example, coming on Friday and hearing other women and other people who have gone through this, who have survived it, who can give us a new perspective and different information so that we can come out of this, probably not changing the world in one day.
Yeah.
But what do we go home with, right?
Right. Because I was just noting, and I was just going to say to Aziza, Afghanistan is notorious for suppressing women. And you're not even allowed to go to school. And I'm upset by that. And then you can't even be an OBGYN or look after your own affairs, your own private affairs. And it's enraging, right? And so I need to feel like I can advocate for change.
So there's something that I keep hearing from everybody is the information, understanding, come and learn. You know, you don't have to be, you might not even know that it's happening to you. So come, talk, learn, and that's something that everybody needs to get further. When they come, tell everybody, what did they get out of IWB and the love? Because that's what we talked about yesterday. If you don't come for the event, just come for the love. Talk about just coming for the love.
I would say, apart from the information sharing that everybody has mentioned, it is like more of love. You'll find lots of sisters in the room that they truly will love you, hug you, and also if you create a good call, if you exchange the contact, they will be part of your contact list forever. So I believe more than anything else, you'll find lots of your like-minded people and you'll get lots of love, care, and of course, help when needed.
Yeah, I like that. The love that's needed. Networking is key. And that's what we have it from there. Networking is key. Come out and learn. And what I want you to do, bring a friend. Your job today, find a friend, call them up and say, we are going to this event on Friday, December the 8th. It starts at 5:30, but we're going to get there at 4 to get an early seat, a front row seat. And we're going to do networking. And that's what it's there for. 16 days. But we're not going to call it 16 days. We're going to call it 365 days, like you said. We're going to change the narrative. So it's every day. We're going to keep it going. And where's it at? Right there, 55 John Street. Make sure you come out early. All right, real quick. Last words, round table. Let's go. We're going to go round table real quick. One word, will you tell everybody what this event is going to do for you? Magda, go ahead.
It will bring you insight. It will bring you resources, and it will bring you a moment to be able to step back and honor, because I'm sure that everybody has women that they honor. And so it is a time for you to be able to recognize and acknowledge that.
Fantastic. Keep going. Keep it going.
This is giving back to your spiritual and mental health, giving back to self, giving back to community, and of course, leveling up if you are an entrepreneur in business, having solid contacts like a sorority that you can count on.
All right, Aziza.
I think like you'll get lots of information, and you'll be surprised that living in Canada, we still have gender-based violence, and that's widespread. So apart from all the lovey-dovey things, you'll get surprises as well that we do have lots of women that they're facing violence and they need help. Thank you.
All right, the last word is yours, Kim.
Unite. This year campaign is all about unite, invest to prevent violence against women and girls. Our job is to unite together. IWB, as like I said before, as a board member, I wouldn't join if it wasn't a safe space. It is a safe space. Come on out. Here's an opportunity for you to network with like-minded people, but at the same time, do it in a safe environment.
There you go. So here's one question I'm putting out to the world. Why are you not coming? Why are you not showing up? This is going to be the ultimate place that you need to come. It has everything you need in one spot. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Immigrant Women in Business, IWB, is a non-profit organization bringing together women from over 50 different countries around the globe. These women have now made Canada